Θα μιλούσαμε για μια τέταρτη επανάσταση, όπου η παγκοσμιοποιημένη ελίτ θα ήθελε να δημιουργήσει έναν νέο άνθρωπο, έναν σκλάβο, διαρκώς συνδεδεμένο με το δίκτυο, χωρίς χώρα, χωρίς συγκεκριμένο φύλο, χωρίς κουλτούρα, χωρίς ταυτότητα, αδύναμο, άοπλο, χωρίς εθνικότητα, χωρίς παραδόσεις, έναν άνθρωπο φτιαγμένο για να τον διαχειρίζονται απάτριδες υπερδυνάμεις. Για να επιτευχθεί ο σατανικός στόχος της νέας παγκόσμιας τάξης μέσω της μεγάλης επανακίνησης, θα έπρεπε να αναμειχθούν τα έθνη μέσω της αναγκαστικής μετανάστευσης, να κατεδαφιστούν οι εθνικές ταυτότητες, να καταστραφεί η αξία της πατρίδας, να προπαγανδιστεί η ομοφιλοφιλία και η λόουτ κουλτούρα, να καταστραφεί η οικογένεια, να περιοριστεί η αύξηση του πληθυσμού μέσω της προώθησης των αμβλώσεων, να υβριδοποιηθούν τα φύλλα μέσω σεξιστικών πολιτικών, να στερηθούν τα άτομα τις προσωπικές τους ελευθερίες, να εκμηδενιστεί η παραγωγική μεσαία τάξη, να υιοθετηθεί ο υγειονομικός έλεγχος των πληθυσμών και να περιοριστεί η χρήση των μετρητών. Όλα αυτά θα οδηγούσαν σε περαιτέρω επιδείνωση της ανισότητας και της συγκέντρωσης του πλούτου, με εξαιρετική αύξηση των εισοδημάτων των δισεκατομμυριούχων και διολίσθηση εκατομμυρίων πολιτών σε όλο τον κόσμο στη φτωχεία.
You know, the word New World Order was for the first time on this planet written by the founder of the Baha'i faith, Baha'u'llah, in his writings. This we have to go back to the 1868, 1870. The banner of Baha'u'llah is the earth is but one country and mankind its citizen. The nations of the planet should come together and talk and consult and try to cut the political borders and leave only geographical borders. Is to have an international monetary system in order that the speculations on currencies will come to an end.
So this would be something like the euro was adopted for Europe. You're talking about a world currency.
Yes. You know, the euro, the European Union is just an example of what I'm saying, because from 6 nations in the 50s, now we are 27. And from different currencies and different laws and different passports and different ideas, now we have one common passport, we have one common currency, we have one common tribunal. Some of the points have been already fixed. So this should be happen exactly with the rest of the world. And slowly, slowly, in some generations, we will have a world currency, we will have a world tribunal, we will have a world government. And of course, the New World Order is are the words that he used just to give us an idea of the future. So the New World Order is not the goal of the Baha'i faith, but it's an instrument. It's an instrument that in the future of the planet, the people will be used to reach unity.
Our normal, everyday concept of reality is an illusion. It is a manipulation in most instances of the power structure that really runs this country and the world to keep us ignorant so that we won't know what the truth is. I can tell you that when George Bush says out of the Middle East crisis will come a new world order, he is not joking. And the new world order is not what you think it is, friendly nations working together. It's going to be a one world, totalitarian, socialist government.
Yeah, my name is Edward Griffin. That's actually my first name is George. My father's first name was George. My grandfather's first name was George, so they called me Edward as the middle name. But when I started to write my books, I used the name of G. Edward Griffin. It's very clear to me that most of the conflict we see in the world, especially the political conflict, is contrived, and it's not really authentic. That the people who are really behind this, I mean, at the ultimate apex of this world struggle, have complete control of both sides of just every major conflict. In the United States, there's something called the Council on Foreign Relations, which has about 4,000 people in it. They really, in my view, are the hidden government of the United States, because all of these people are in highly influential positions, and they have rings within rings, and they consider the Council on Foreign Relations to be about third out from the center. And we've come across something called the round tables, which are sort of a vestige of, I would call it a secret society, and they do too, formed by Cecil Rhodes. Inside of that, there's a very small group, and you come across names that keep popping up all the time, like Rothschild and Rockefeller, and it seems like every time you get to the top of this pyramid, the occult gets exposed at some significant level. When people ask me when I thought the New World Order might happen.
The purpose of this presentation is to show not only that there is a grand design, but that it has been the consistent, dominant force behind absolutely every major move by the United States in the foreign policy field since at least the end of World War II.
They said, well, when do you think that would happen? I said, it's already here. It's just that it's being built brick by brick around us every day, and we don't recognize it. It's already here. The foundation is here. Been here ever since the end of World War II. I could see that all the propaganda was being perpetuated primarily through the schools and then the media. And I said, this is happening right now. I mean, it's already here. The only question is we didn't know how strong the control mechanisms were. Well, now, when COVID came along, we saw that the control mechanisms were very strong. Like at the flip of a switch, all of the major countries of the world were saying the same thing and doing the same thing in lockstep. Like in 24 hours, somebody said, go, and they all went. It was like there's mushrooms coming up out of the grass after a night's rain. They were there all along. We just didn't know them. The New World Order doesn't arrive at a certain moment in time. It's been here a long time. It's just been gradually building, and the walls are getting higher and higher, and the exits are getting filled in as time goes by. So where are we in that process? I don't know how to measure that, except we're dangerously close to the completion.
Και τι να πούμε για τον Αγγλο-Αμερικανό σκηνοθέτη και πολιτικό ακτιβιστή Άρον Ρούσο, που πέθανε στις 24 Αυγούστου του 2007, είχε λάβει πολυάριθμα βραβεία για τα επιτεύγματα του και περιέγραφε τον εαυτό του ως μαχητή της ελευθερίας. Σε συνέντευξη του το 2005, λίγο πριν πεθάνει από καρκίνο, εξήγησε πως ο Νίκολας Ροκφέλερ, 11 μήνες πριν από τις επιθέσεις στο Παγκόσμιο Κέντρο Εμπορίου, του είπε ότι η άρχουσα ελίτ είχε σχεδιάσει μια αυτοεπίθεση για να εφεύρει την απάτη της διεθνούς τρομοκρατίας και να δημιουργήσει έναν πόλεμο εναντίον ενός ανύπαρκτου εχθρού, να σκορπίσει τον φόβο σε παγκόσμιο επίπεδο, να εγκαθιδρύσει εξαντλητικό έλεγχο του άμαχου πληθυσμού και να εισβάλλει στην Ανατολή για να κλέψει το πετρέλαιο. Αποκαλύπτει πως του είπε ότι το απότερο σχέδιο της ελίτ είναι να μας σύρει σε μια παγκόσμια κυβέρνηση, ένα παγκόσμιο νόμισμα και μια παγκόσμια τράπεζα, εξαφανίζοντας τα μετρητά, προκειμένου να μας σημαδέψει όλους με ένα τσίπ σαν σκύλους, για να ελέγχει ηλεκτρονικά τα χρήματά μας και συνεπώς την ελευθερία μας, με αυτόν τον τρόπο. Όποιος επαναστατήσει ενάντια στην τυραννία της εξουσίας και της καταπίεσης θα αποσυνδέεται το τσίπ του και δεν θα μπορεί να αγοράσει τρόφιμα.
Friend, Nick Rockefeller, okay, who's one of the Rockefeller family, and he, when I was running for governor in Nevada, he came to me, introduced himself to me through an attorney, and we became friends. We started talking about things, and I learned an awful lot from Mr. Rockefeller. And one of the things that we used to talk about was the ultimate plan of the banking industry, what they wanted to accomplish. And the goals of the banking industry, not just the Federal Reserve System, but the private banks in Germany and England, all over Italy, all over the world, they all work together. They're all central banks, and they're all part of the Communist Manifesto. You know, central banking is one of the major planks of the Communist Manifesto. We talk about America being a capitalistic country, but yet at the same time we have a central bank that plans everything for us. Right? And the graduated income tax is another plank of the Communist Manifesto, right? So right there you have two major planks of the Communist Manifesto that have been brought in because of the Federal Reserve System, okay? So the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one-world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. And the whole agenda is to create a one-world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is given me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. and all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip, and you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what
everything.
you sell.
Everything is in there, you know? And so they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all your money in those chips, and they control the chips, and they control people, and you become a slave. You become a serf to these people. That's their goal. That's their intentions.
Eric, can you be specific about when you met Rockefeller, how it happened in these discussions?
I met Rockefeller through a female attorney I knew who called me up one day and said, one of the Rockefellers would like to meet you. I made a video called Mad as Hell, and he'd seen the video and wanted to meet me and knew I was running for governor of Nevada. So sure, I'd love to meet him. And I met him and I liked him, and he was a very, very smart man. And we used to talk and share ideas and thoughts. And he's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event. And out of that event, we were going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We were going to invade Iraq, you know, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we go after Chavez in Venezuela.
Trying to recruit you, and didn't it come down to the point of, hey, we are here to recruit you, and don't worry, your chip's going to say, don't mess with us. You know, this guy's don't touch.
Yeah, yes, that did happen. I was definitely being recruited, but it's more subtle than that.
Well, in your words, just go through the process, and then what he said.
Well, what it is remember, we were friends, and we used to go to my house a lot. We'd have dinner, we'd talk, and he'd tell me about business investments, how you get involved in, you know, or they would help me with this business investment or that business investment. And was I interested in joining the Council on Foreign Relations? You know, I would have to get a letter to join them, but was I interested in that? And, you know, just stuff, you know, leading you on. And I used to say to him that I never really did that because that wasn't where I was coming from. You know, as much as I like you, Nick, you know, your ways and my ways, we're on the opposite side of the fence. You know, I don't believe in enslaving people, you know, and
he would come back with, oh, I do?
Well, it would be more like, you know...
It's better for them.
Well, it's more like, you know, how do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. You know, it was just a lack of caring, you know, and that's just not who I was. It was just sort of like cold, you know. It was just like cold, you know. And I used to say to him, what's the point of all this? You have all the money in the world you need. You have all the power you need. What's the point? You know, what's the end goal? And he said the end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society, to have the bankers, the elite people, you know, the bankers and some governor controlling the world. And I said, do all the people in the Council on Foreign Relations believe this way you do? He said, no. You know, most of them believe they're doing the right thing. A lot of them believe it's better off being socialistic. You know, we have to convince people that socialism is really capitalism. Well, one of the things they told me was that he was at the house one night, and we were talking, and he started laughing. He said, Aaron, what do you think women's liberation was about? And I said, I had pretty conventional thinking about it at that point. I said, I think it's about women having the right to work, getting equal pay with men, just like they won the right to vote, you know? And he started to laugh. He said, you're an idiot. And I said, why am I an idiot? He said, let me tell you what that was about. We, the Rockefellers, funded that. We funded women's lib. you know? And we're the ones who got all over the newspapers and television, the Rockefeller Foundation. He says, and you want to know why? He says, there were two primary reasons. And they were, one reason was we couldn't tax half the population before women's lib. And the second reason was, now we get the kids in school at an early age. We can indoctrinate the kids how to think. It breaks up their family. The kids start looking at the state as the family, as the school, as the officials, as their family, not as the parents teaching them. And so those are the two primary reasons for women's lib, which I thought up to that point was a noble thing.